old age pensioners lobbying their MPs for a better deal from the government. It's an annual pre-budget ritual. But there's added point this year because the government is about to announce the results of a major review into our whole social security system. And the early signs aren't good. TV Eye has been looking at the impact of recent policy changes on the very poorest of our old people.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Wallace, South of Scotland.
Mrs. Margaret Wallace uses electricity for all her heating and cooking.
No.
And the South of Scotland board can produce her computerised bill on the doorstep.
Is your electricity bill coming out there with the new machine?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cold day today out there.
Oh, this is a new idea right enough.
Yes.
I hope it makes the bill a wee bit less than a lot.
Well, I certainly hope so myself. Here's your account, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh my God, £128.39.
Well, I didn't think it was that bad, thank you.
Oh, was it no? It was £120 the last time, at this time of year. 2 years ago they gave me some money to help. But that was all 2 years ago, but nothing now. I think it was sent me into workhouse. Come and cut off my electricity.
The fuel authorities don't disconnect old people in the winter, but they still have to pay their bills.
I hope not.
Mrs. Wallace spends a third of her income on electricity. Her pension and disability allowance comes to £43.50. This is how the money goes. Food, up to £15 a week. TV rental and licence, £4. Telephone, £3. And electricity during the winter, £15 a week. To pay the electricity bill, there's only one solution.
Well, I'll have to borrow it off my daughter and off the money she's got to borrow me. Wouldn't I? She puts it in the bank. And if I need any, she'd to get me that spin dryer and then I have to pay her back.
You say
It's
that
so
she's
much.
got money put by for your funeral, has she?
Aye, for me. I give her so much if she's here. If I've got anything left, I just give it away with her. And she puts it away. And that's what it's for.
65p keeps Harry Ayres warm for an hour or two at most. That £1 off a week makes a lot of difference when the meter takes 50p a time.
Well, I'm spending at least 12 to 14 pounds a week now. So I told you I put in £3 yesterday, I kept account. Day before was Sunday, wasn't it? That was £2.50 on Sunday. Because I went to bed in the afternoon. I thought, well, I'll switch off the fire, you know. Didn't I mean, but it's the money, you know.
Do you even make savings on your light as well?
Oh, I do, yes. If I go from that room in there, I've never had to do it right through light. I switch off if it's only for a second.
What about of an evening in this room?
Don't have no light at all. No. I get this light here, comes in the two rooms.
What, the street lights?
Lovely, and then amber colour light. So it's quite good, you know, it's not dark.
And that saves you some...
Yes, and you've got the telly on, that gives the light. But if I had that on, there'd be another £1 a week on that. Easy.
What are you wearing now under your
Well,
dressing
I've got two jumpers on, and a vest and a shirt, and this and the scarf. But when I come here first, I had 3 scarves on and 2 jumpers and a dressing gown.
So you put that pillow and other things there to just try and stop the draft?
Down, yes.
And that curtain?
Plastic, yes. See, I got a bit of plastic behind here. I fixed it all up myself because my husband couldn't do it.
Does it keep the draft out?
Yeah, a little bit, you know, not very much, but...
Have you got any other
you feel
draft?
that pillow, not?
That's very damp, isn't it?
You couldn't put that on the bed anyway.
No, you couldn't. Has your husband been complaining about the cold recently?
Oh, yeah. Terrible lot.
What about last night? Was it?
Last night it was perishing cold. He said to me, it's cold when I said, well, I've done the best I can. You got all the blankets on the bed, sleeping between blankets, and got his cardigan on. You got those 2 blankets on, and I got another one ready to put on the bed if he wants it.
Her complaint about social security is the bureaucracy.
Well, it's so where you go, there's so many queues out there, and then you're hours up there waiting. And if you don't get up there by a certain time, well, you find a queue up there miles long.
In the second week of January, 2 areas, East Anglia and parts of the south, were considered sufficiently cold. As the winter weather continued, other areas were accepted for special payments: the Midlands, the home counties and the West. In the big February freeze-up, Wales, the South East and other parts of England were added to the list. But because of the way the system has been worked out, the rest of the country was not officially cold enough, and the Scots are furious. Pensioners' groups have taken up the cause. This group joined a protest in Glasgow council offices against rates and rents rises to make the point. No amount of sophisticated temperature tables will convince them that Scottish old people have not been cheated out of their cold weather entitlement. In their view, the Scottish winter should regularly justify payment.
We are not a foreign country. It is not England. We are supposed to be Great Britain. Why make a difference from England to Scotland? We suffer the cold up here worse than England does.
Well, what the government says is that the winter hasn't been quite cold enough to trigger...
Let her come up and spend a winter here.
Mrs. Thatcher?
Yes, of course. Yes, bring her here. Bring her up here. Instead of going to California, President Reagan, let her come up here and suffer a winter in one of our houses that we have to, and see if off a £36 a week she can pay the heating that we have to pay.